What is good, YouTube? We are back with another banger video. What's good, YouTube? Today is May 13, Wednesday. It's lunchtime. As y'all can see, the delivery already on the screen, on the chart. Let me go black. We go black diamond on them. And let's just do that. So today was a very informative day. So, one second. Coming into today, we did have core PPI month over month and regular PPI month over month at 7:30 a.m. I'm going to break down the whole day. Sometimes I don't really like putting effort into my recaps, but today was a day that did definitely require, that does require a in-depth breakdown. So coming into today, we obviously had that 7:30 a.m. News release, and we create our data high off of that, right? Honestly, do I? We create our data high off of that. I'm actually gonna delete all this and just start it from the beginning. Cancel, break even, and let's just replay at the top. So once again, coming in, we create this data high right here that needs to now be swept out, or is going to be our draw for later purposes once market opens up, right? And we obviously have our data low, but that gets swept out right away. Let me mark out market open. And you know, I'm not looking at anything pre-market, but right here I want to see, so off of market open, we automatically reject coming out of, we're actually in a 15 right now, I believe, or we were in a 15. Yep, we were in this 15-minute bearish gap, but we obviously have our data high right here, so it wouldn't make sense to be looking for shorts when we have a draw right in front of us. And we also created this 5-minute bullish gap that we have right here. 1 second. Let me just put this on a 5. So we are in a 15-minute bearish gap, but our draw is right above us, and we created this 5-minute bullish gap at the open. So, and I saw a lot of people take this trade. We're in this 5-minute bullish gap, and there were 2 IFEGs you could have taken, right? But I took this one right here. At this point in time, we did end up inversing that gap. So this, dang, hold on. At this point in time, we did end up inversing the 5-minute bullish gap. So technically this isn't a good trade, but once again, our draw is right here. You feel me? So I'm not thinking about the fact that we just inversed the 5-minute, especially when we just got this nice V shape. We just swept out these lows. So we have our liquidity sweep. We have a nice V shape, and we have this 1-minute IFPG that we just now inversed. And I'm looking to take this to the data highs once again. Even though we did once again just end up failing to respect this 5-minute bullish gap, right? So that is the first bid I took today. And as we can see, it did fail. And I saw a lot of people take this trade. I think there was a IFEG a little bit earlier. Probably this one. Nonetheless, though, so that trade failed, and now I'm just sitting on my hands, waiting for another opportunity to get in. And once again, we are at all-time highs, so I'm just bullish till I'm wrong. You feel me? Let's get into this. So at this point in time, we had a 4-hour gap get mitigated, and that is okay. Yeah, we had this 4-hour gap get closed through. And if you're just starting, you know, you're taking what you've learned as law instead of as a suggestion. And now I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to certain things, but we're just so bullish, and I'm gonna show you why. Even though we inversed this 4-hour gap and we also inversed this tiny 4-hour gap right here, we inverse both of these right here, right? But I'm gonna show you why it doesn't even matter though. The reason it doesn't matter is because when we go down to the 1-hour time frame, we are respecting this 1-hour gap right here. And we see that this is a gap that of importance due to the fact that we've created the gap, right? We tagged into it, we respected it, we bounced off of it, and now we have tagged into the gap again, and we are now seeing a rejection out of it. So that just shows us that this gap is of high importance, and that is, I would say it carries more significance and more weight than these 2 4-hour gaps that we have now ran through and failed to respect. Not only does this gap hold more significance, we also created this SMT at the lows within this 1 hour. So seeing all of that, even though we are falling heavily, I'm not worried about being incorrect with my bias and my draw. You feel me? So once again, knowing all of that, I did right here, I did expect to see us take out these Asia lows that we created. Somehow we didn't end up doing that. Right? Let me go back down to the 1 minute though. And right here, okay, this is also one more reason as to why I'm bullish. Right here, we create this rejection block on the 5-minute chart, right? We create this nice rejection block where obviously it's just, we're displacing lower, and then we have this heavy wick, or this wick range, I should say, on the 5-minute. And we see it get traded into right here. You feel me? So this is all stuff I'm noticing in live time. I see we trade into it right here, and we see the very next candle we are displacing right out of it. We go down to the 1 minute, and we see that that's this candle right here. But there was something holding me back from just getting in right away. Let me actually put this on the 1 minute, and I'm gonna block. There was something stopping me from getting in right away, and that was this 3-minute gap right here. For some reason, somehow, this 3-minute gap was holding price down. This 3-minute gap was holding price down for ages, and at this same time, we saw ES displacing higher, and so between ES and NQ, we were decoupled, right? But so we have this 3-minute gap reaction, okay, rejection block. So this is everything that I'm seeing in live time. This is why I'm not bearish, even though we are displacing heavily, even though, you know, we created this 15-minute bearish gap. I just can't be bearish. Like, I'm seeing all the confluences that are telling me that we are going higher. And then lastly, we did end up creating this breakaway gap, right? So I'm gonna just add that to the chart. 15-minute. So we did end up creating this breakaway 15-minute breakaway fair value gap, right? I can delete this. And where's this 15? Okay, so this was the original 15 that we created at market open. This is our 15-minute breakaway gap, and this is our 3-minute gap. So right here, this is why I entered the trade finally. 1 hour bullish, 1 hour gap tapped into, right? Let me even mark that out as well. Holy gap session. Okay, so as we can see, we traded into this 1 hour bullish gap. On the 5-minute, we created this rejection zone, this rejection block. We traded back into the rejection block. We are currently in a 3-minute fair value gap, a 3-minute bearish fair value gap. And so the last confluence I'm waiting for is that 3-minute gap to be flipped, or this 1 minute gap to be flipped. And why am I not waiting for the 3, or why am I able to take the 1 or the 3? Just because there's so many confluences that are showing us higher that I don't really care to wait for the 3. I'm getting a nice entry getting in off this 1 minute fair value instead of getting in off of this 3 minute fair value gap. We can obviously see that even though overall on the 3 minute time frame, we are holding price down on the 1 minute time frame. This 1 minute gap is doing all the work. We can see off of this multitude of wicks that this 1 minute gap is doing all of the work, right? So seeing that this is potentially the trade I'm looking at, I can potentially look for a smaller bid, but my draw is data high, the data high from this morning that we left behind, right? And so now it's just a waiting game, right? And we see, okay, this is also just another confluence. This 1 minute gap right here, this 1 minute bullish gap, it just holds perfectly. Look at, we hold the CE of this gap perfectly and we reject higher. Okay, I just lied, but LOL. Yeah, we held it. We did end up disrespecting it. Once again, I'm not looking for shorts based off of everything I just said. And we get this nice V shape out of it. And that's just what you want to see at all times. This nice V shape. Holy. Anyways, we get this nice V shape out of this this lower 1 minute gap. We inverse this 1 minute bearish gap, and it's now time to get in. Also, I believe we get our change in state of delivery. So there's just every confluence is just showing us higher. You feel me? So I took my entry right as soon as we got over the gap. I wasn't waiting for this gap for this 1 minute to close. My entry would have been here. It honestly doesn't matter just due to RR of this trade. And you just watch this run, right? You just watch this run. One last thing I will note, I did end up going break even right here. You need to go break even due to the fact that even though I am bullish, I need to be smart and realize I am trading into a 15-minute bearish gap. So if price does fail to respect all of my confluences, I'm going break even right here. Once again, if price fails to respect all of my confluences and actually respects this 15-minute bearish gap, I'm not being stopped out off of a rejection like this. You feel me? That's not gonna affect me. Why is it doing that? So I did go break even at this 15-minute unmitigated, and I'm just targeting these data highs. And we just watch this run. We watch it run. We watch it run. And it's just overall a good trade. I stopped myself out right around here just because I'm not waiting for all this chop. Maybe I should have, but I just didn't care to. And it's like the more knowledge you get of market, the easier it is to read such plays. While this did look clean, once again that 5-minute bullish gap did inverse, but I'll take this 10 out of 10 times. It looked super clean. I didn't care about this 15-minute bearish, but we're going to these data highs, and we did end up taking up these data highs. So I'll take this first trade 10 out of 10 times, but this second trade was just super clean. This might have been the best trade of the week. I'm not gonna lie. I hope y'all boys caught a dub. Once again, why not us doing this every single day, man? Trying to get paid, trying to get successful. Yo.